The Tipping Point with Mike Tipton is brought to you by Dubby. What is Dubby? Dubby is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like those other energy drinks have. They also have no maltodextrin fillers and don't use artificial dyes. Dubby contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. Dubby's products are made in the USA in an FDA-inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP manufacturing guidelines. All of the flavors are unique and custom-made by Dubby, and you'll never taste our taste anywhere else. The best part about it is they're affordable. Dubby's drinks come out to about $1 per drink, much cheaper than Starbucks or any of those canned energy drinks. To learn more, visit dubby.gg.com/discount/MRTipton33 and place your order today. Use promo code MrTipton33 and save today. Dubby Energy, be better. What's going on, everybody? I want to tell you about my new friends over at Cleverman. Visit them online at becleverman.com. What they gave me was the energizing face and beard scrub along with the Cleverman face scrubber. And trust me when I say this, the energizing face and beard scrub smells amazing. Combining it with the face scrubber, making sure that your boy was looking as good and sexy as possible, opened up a whole different sensation in my face that I haven't ever felt before. I felt so clean, so fresh, and so clean, like Outkast said, and it helped me feel like I was ready for my day. Make sure you visit them online at becleverman.com and follow them on Instagram at clevermannyc. The link is up in my bio if you want to check out all the amazing products they have. Visit them online, becleverman.com. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton, joining you here live on this Thursday morning. It's been a while. I know I've been gone for a minute, but I'm back. Let me hit it. Shout out to the Cricket Commish who tuned in today right now. I was on his show yesterday, the Fantasy Football Hour, talking about our thoughts on fantasy football. And whenever the show ended, I did feel a little bad because the Commish was trying, and I mean, he was trying to get me and Mouth from the Bay to buy in to the Cleveland Browns talk and the New York Jets talk. And like, we squashed it like we were Hulk Hogan in the 90s, man. Like, I am sorry, Commish. I should have given you more there, but I stand by what I said. Nobody cares about the Browns. Nobody cares about the Jets. Like fantasy wise, if you have players from the Browns and the Jets on your team, you are in trouble. Just, I mean, there's no other way. But, you know, I got nothing but love for you, my dude. Shout out to you on the Chicago Clubhouse Network. He was trying so hard, Tommy. I felt bad. I did feel bad. He wanted us to talk about the Jets and the Browns. The commissioner, you did kind of take the wind out of my sail there, but I just mostly wanted to talk about the players and the prospects, not necessarily the whole team. But that's the thing, right? Like they go hand in hand, my dude. Like, okay. And I feel like I kind of capitulated a little bit, right? Where I said I wouldn't necessarily not have them on my team. You get the players, especially the rookie players, right? Like, you get them, you put them on your team, you put them on your taxi squad for a little bit if you've got a dynasty team. If it's a redraft, maybe you get them, you put them on the bench, and you see maybe something can happen. But I feel like you've got to, like, there's better options out there, right? Like, if that's where you're digging, your draft went bad, especially in a redraft. Dynasty-wise, I can see the value. 100%. I can see the value. But in a redraft league, I don't know, dude. Like, I feel like someone would take a flyer on them, but they're also going to ride the bench the majority of the year, and you can go out and get better wide receivers elsewhere. Dynasty, there's value. Redraft, I don't really see it. Hopefully, they prove me wrong, but I don't know. Like, the Jets and the Browns. I spent more time today talking about it than I did yesterday. I apologize, Commish. Again, mea culpa a million times. I do want to give a shout out to everybody that's tuned in all over the different social media platforms, whether you're doing that on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, where we are live on my YouTube channel, Mr. Tipton 33, and of course on the Under the Hood podcast network as well. Jonathan Hood and them boys being gracious enough to allow me a platform. This kid from El Paso, Texas, Chi-Town born maybe, but you know, I didn't grow up there, but hey, I got a little bit of Chi-Town roots. Allowing me to be a part of that network. I'm excited about it. Thank you so much, Hoodie. And of course, we're on X. Slide into my X at Mr. Tipton 33. I just love saying that. Slide into my X. It sounds gross, but it's the thing. This guy saying, you effing lagging. I know I am. I don't know what I'm lagging on, but I'm good with it. That's because I have a high-end camera over here, and the camera is going through a router that's called an Azure card, and that Azure card unfortunately doesn't take audio. And because I have a really nice audio board here that I get to play different sounds and stuff like that off of, there is a little bit of a synchronization issue, but that's what happens whenever you get money and you invest in your product. So the next thing that I need to do in order to make sure I don't have the lag is by investing in a roughly $5,000 frame sync. And I'm just not going to do that. I'll deal with a little bit of a lag. And if that's the thing that bothers you, Mehmet, I apologize. Go get a life, you fucking virgin. Damn, it's too early for me to be talking like that. The commish saying it's all good. Thanks for joining last night. But that is funny did talk about then more than last night. My guy, I don't know what you're on right now. I know what you're trying to say, but that was I got a little bit of dyslexia, a little bit of glaucoma. You know, I got a little bit of them issues. Reading that was tough for your boy. I know what you're trying to say. I'm not going to go back and read it again because that was tough. And it says, oh yeah, thanks, Jay Hood. You are the man. And then it says, what's up to Tommy Cananza? Tommy Cananza, who tuned in earlier today saying, what's up, Tip? What's up, Tommy? Hope that you're having yourself a great day, my friend. You should be happy. Tommy, you should be extremely happy. Your Oklahoma City Thunder defeated my San Antonio Spurs yesterday, 122-115. I want to say was the final score. I got to bring it up. I didn't want to talk about it because it's kind of annoying to me. But it's playing out exactly the way that I thought it would be. Augustine tuning in saying, who is happy? Tommy is happy. Tommy should be happy. He hates my San Antonio Spurs. I understand that flopping and like hard fouls are a part of the game, right? But to me, if you're going to do that, you've got to realize that you have to call it consistently. And I think that's where my issue is with the refereeing that we have right now in the NBA, is that it's not called consistently. And Oklahoma City, it's wild to me that they get the glazing that they get, while also everyone recognizes that team is just foul baiting time and time again. How they complain about foul calls and things like that is insane to me. And it's not basketball. I was talking to someone yesterday while I was at the Chihuahuas game, and we were talking about the potential of him as a New York Knicks fan getting the New York Knicks in the NBA Finals versus the San Antonio Spurs, and how that would be real basketball being played by two basketball teams. not the over-the-top flopping and drama and all that other nonsense that follows around the Oklahoma City Thunder. And again, y'all know me. If it gets you the calls, keep doing it, my dude. But if you're going to be the referees and you're going to have that type of game, you need to call it consistently both ways. It can't just be a one-way thing. Yes, they're the defending champs. Yes, the champ always gets more calls. I am good with that aspect of it. But whenever you have a guy going for a rebound and he grabs a fistful of dreadlocks and pulls it back and the referee is staring right at it with his mouth wide open like, oh, I'm not going to blow a whistle here. That's when it becomes wild to me. The commissioner saying, it's funny that you did talk about the Jets and the Browns on your show more than you did on my show. Mike isn't picking it up at all. My bad. That's a dude talking into the talk to text, and that's always the worst, man. I don't do the talk to text because it doesn't understand my voice for whatever reason. And you know it's weird whenever Augustine is even saying that the refereeing is questionable. It's been weird, man. And like, I probably should have done better at prepping for today's show. I was running a little late, so I didn't get to do it. I'm looking for, I don't want to get a video because I know it'll be like a TikTok video. I just want to try to get the picture because I know there's a still of Isaiah Hartenstein. There it is. Grabbing a fistful. That's a bad picture. Of. That's a Photoshop picture of the ref. I got to try to find a better picture. But Isaiah Hartenstein grabbing Stephon Castle's hair, pulling it back like this, literally in front of the referee. And that to me is, yes, that's the more egregious one. That one should have been called. Maybe there's, something to say, like something may have happened that's the makeup call or something of that nature, but it's just not. If Oklahoma City wins this series, which I fully expect them to do, you don't want the NBA Finals or the NBA Western Conference Finals to be clouded by this aura of this team is getting the calls or the non-calls or any of that other stuff. When they're holding Victor Wembanyama's arm behind him as he's going up for a layup or a rebound, and you can see that they have both hands wrapped around his arm, dragging him back, and the referees don't call a foul on that. Or if Wemby is going up for a rebound and Isaiah Hartenstein literally has him in a bear hug and they don't call a foul on that. You don't want that to cloud fans' perspective of a game that is already something that they're not liking. The NBA product that's out there right now, most people are not liking. The last thing you need to do as a league is try to excuse the fact that you have referees not blowing the whistle with blatant fouls happening in front of you, and then blowing the whistle whenever you have a guy that, and again, Harrison Barnes standing absolutely straight. Someone from the Thunder pretends to run into him and flops, and now it's an offensive foul on the Spurs. I'm not one of these people that calls for foul calls to be made. I don't believe that games are decided by referees. All I want is for the game to be played equally. Either call it on Oklahoma City or don't call it at all. But if you're going to allow Oklahoma City to play this brand of basketball, then you need to allow the San Antonio Spurs to do the same. Augustine saying, yeah, they went dirty on Wemby. They really have been. And I get it, like you kind of have to do that. Tommy's saying, I didn't watch the game at all, but I think you lost, so you're being salty. LMAO JK. And it says, let's go, refs. Let's go, refs. Let's go, refs. Augustine saying, it's frustrating as a fan of the game as well. And that's where I am, right? Again, I'm playing with house money, dude. I like the Spurs have overachieved well over what I expected them to do. I'm playing with house money. We lose in the Western Conference Finals. Dude, we missed the playoffs for the last 6 years, 7 years. 6 or 7 years. We missed the playoffs. I did that for the kids. To me, it's like you've got to be consistent. You've got to be consistent. Ashley saying, good morning, fellas. Tip, LOL, that pool looked like a chick fight we'd seen on FitFam. LOL, been crazy to see how physical they've been. They've got WNBA energy. Those women play hard. Hard. The Cricket Commissioner saying, is it too much to ask for consistency? And then Augustine saying, you're always playing with house money. That's why all the memes I made. Augustine is really fishing for me to put up the AI-generated images that he sent me. So, Augustine, I'm going to download them now, find a way to add them to my stuff so that way I can put it up over here. There you are. It's so many of them, Augustine. Okay, so we will save this. Let's go to the next one. 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 There we go. And now I've got to like email them to myself, take up all this space so that I can be able to do this for Augustine because he's really fishing. Again, way too much time on your hands. And then giving my face to AI was not something I was expecting to happen. That's how you know you have a good friend. He submits you to AI. Jesus Christ. There's so many of them that I can only attach a handful of them at one time. Let's come over here, go to my inbox, let it refresh. There it is. As we do this in chronological order of some sort. I don't want to do that. Giving me extra work here to do, Augustine, while I'm trying to do a show. And all these pictures look bad. Like, if you're going to do AI, you should do it better, I feel like. Now, a lot of these things are, and like, I don't even know where you got these pictures of me. That's the crazy thing about it. And I want to, like, I know, like, doing the stuff on AI is not free. Like, that's the even weirder part about it. I do that. Oh my God, I got to go through all these steps. Okay. I wonder if this is one. No, that's not it. I got to find out where the hell they save to. I'm not going to do that right now. Augustine, I'll. Oh, wait, they're still downloading. That's how big these files are? Jesus, Augustine. Wow. They're enormous ass files, Augustine. Jesus. Going over here, slowing down the show so I can do this. Documents. Here is it. I'll do that later. I was just saying, you've got slow internet. Out of those options, I don't think that would necessarily be true. You sent me 12 AI files. Again, huge fucking files. I wonder if I could do it from my phone. Also, trying to do this in the middle of a show where I had other things planned just because you want attention. Looking. No way it's in there. Why would it go there? No, Augustine, they don't represent the fans. I'm not going to deal with it right now. He's like, oh, look, it's Tipton saying that the Cowboys, this is our year. A thing I've literally never said other than being joking that people take seriously because it's funny for me to make people mad about how much they love the Dallas Cowboys. Ray Jackson saying, good morning from Burgess. Good morning, Ray. Hope that you're having yourself a good day so far. I'll share the AI images later, Augustine. I'm not going to do that in the middle of my show. They might mean something to you. They mean nothing to me. So I'll share them a little bit later on. And they are dumb, if I'm being honest. The commissioner is 17-0, right? Again, if you fall for me saying 17-0, you're an idiot. Like there's no, I don't know what else to do for you here. If you don't understand that I'm doing something just to get on the internet to make people on the internet mad, I don't know what to do. Commish, I'm not saying you're an idiot. I'm just saying people in general. I know that you know, or at least I hope you watched through the whole time, where I said, like, honestly, I think the limit for the Cowboys is, like, the high point for the Cowboys would be 12 wins. The low point for the Cowboys this year, I think, would be 9 wins. That's more or less where they are. Ray saying, is that the Chiefs record this year? The Chiefs record without Mahomes, I think, is going to go like 0-17. No, it's so hard to win all your games, and it's equally as hard, if not harder, to lose all your games. Like going 0-17 or 0-16 to me is so much more difficult than going 17-0. I don't know why I feel like it's that way, because again, like the sun shines on a dog's ass every now and then. Your team could be that dog's ass that gets the sun shining on it. And there's like a little bit of pride. Like, you have to also face another really bad team eventually in the season. So you'd figure getting that win would be easier to happen. But we have had more winless teams than we've had undefeated teams in the history of the NFL. So maybe I'm just an idiot. But again, like, it feels so hard. Like it's such a difficult thing to do, to try to pull off the winless season. Oh no. Ray sent me a picture on Instagram. I guess I'm up on a TV screen in a school right now. Hopefully classes have not started. Augustine asking a very loaded question here. Is there anything fans can do to get the right reffing in games? And the answer to that, I feel like, is no, right? Like, think about this. We live in a world now that's full of technology that we're able to find out how fast a baseball is coming out of somebody's hand, what type of pitch it was instantaneously, the rotation that comes around it, whether or not it hit a small little box in a window that is based off of and changes in size dependent upon how tall the person is, how long their arms are. These are all the variables that we have whenever we have this thing in baseball now that's called ABS, right? Huge help for baseball. Baseball brings it in and says now players can challenge whether or not the umpire has the right call, whether it's a ball, whether it's a strike, because that is something that we as fans have been asking for decades, I feel. Now it's here. Now it's in baseball. And the caveat is that if you challenge it, now it's up to the umpire's discretion on whether you challenged it fast enough or if the umpire feels that they're right and therefore will not let you challenge them because the umpires don't want to get shown up. I was at a baseball game yesterday, and again, no slight to the umpire, but I understand the human element in error, and it feels like every single time I see a challenge happen in the AAA baseball system now. I'm going well over 100 games of being able to watch challenges happen in AAA baseball. The umpire is wrong at least 85% of the time. That is a wild, wild concept to think of. But now in Major League Baseball, because we don't want to hurt the referee's feelings, we don't want to hurt the umpire's feelings, it's up to the umpire whether or not they want to allow someone to be challenging. The Cricket Commish, as a matter of fact, it was a Cubs game that this happened in, where the catcher gets the ball, taps his head, says, I want this to be challenged. And the umpire's like, nah, son, we're good. It should automatically be challenged. Fuck their feelings. End of discussion. Are we ever going to be able as fans to get the right refereeing? And the answer to that is no, because as long as referees are human, there will always be that human element, that one variable, that little itty bitty X factor where you can sit there and have some sort of plausible deniability. We look at the picture of Isaiah Hartenstein grabbing the dreadlocks of Stephon Castle, having his whole hand in that man's hair, pulling it back as though he were a teenage girl, like Ashley said earlier on FitFam. And the referee is staring right at it, even makes a face like this, and doesn't blow the whistle. What more can you ask of as fans? The referee is looking right at it. It is a blatant grab of somebody's hair, yet no foul is called because there's always that human element of, I don't want to be this. Tommy's saying it right. Dez caught it. It was funny because my team, my co-workers that I work with up in the production booth at the baseball stadium, love trying to get me mad. So they put on videos on YouTube. We have these big screens in our production room. They route one of the computers to it, and it'll be like, oh, one of the videos was like Cowboys choking like history, right? And it was obvious that this person who was a Packers fan just hates the Dallas Cowboys because they're just playing these videos, and it comes down to like the Dez catch. And they're much younger than I am, so they see it and they're like, oh, wow, that should have been a catch. And I'm like, yes. The fact that Dez did all of that, and it was called not a catch, happened literally that season and that season only. In the offseason, they looked at it and said, yeah, that's a catch. But it doesn't go back and fix what had already happened. The referees are going to come out with a report later on today that's going to be like, yeah, we missed a handful of fouls made by Oklahoma City, made by San Antonio, that probably would have helped San Antonio get to the free throw line, maybe get Oklahoma City in foul trouble, etc., etc. Our bad. We missed those calls. We see it all the time in the NBA. The next day they come out with the list of calls that they've made, that they missed, rather. And the first year they did this was about 10 years ago. And it was a huge deal. The first 2 weeks, it was a huge deal. All the missed calls that the referees had in the NBA. But you know what didn't happen? Anything. They didn't go back and replay the game. They didn't adjust the score. The ending of the game was exactly what the ending of the game is going to be. 10 years we've had this. And it doesn't change anything. Going over to the comment section. Ray saying, I like when the Dolphins undefeated team members celebrate when all NFL teams have a loss. Oh, 100%. I think that's one of the coolest things. And you know that they had to be watching that Super Bowl where the Patriots went 18-1, right? Like those old heads had to be watching that Super Bowl with just, biting their fingernails like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Not a big fan of AI is what the Crooked Commish just said right now. Not a fan at all. Augustine saying, but that was not human element yesterday in the OKC Spurs game. It is, right? Like you have the plausible deniability. Tommy giving me the hashtag Dez caught it. The commish saying the umpire's ego should never come into play whenever it comes to getting the call right. 1,000%. The human element is called a homer, like being a homer. Augustine saying they shouldn't come out with these missed calls. And then Tommy saying, no, they won't. Augustine, like it's 100% the human element, right? Like it's just human nature. You don't want to be looked at as wrong. And one of the main things that we have as human beings is our love of just the tip.
I just want to put the tip in.
It's time for
Just the Tip.
That would make me uncomfortable.
Promise that it ain't too much, but just enough. Just a tip. Just a tip.
Just the tip. Just the tip.
It's time for Just the Tip.
Just the Tip is brought to you by our friends over at www.myhappynuts.com. Ladies, I'm talking to you. I'm looking you in the eyes right now, and I'm letting you know that man in your life is working hard. He's either working hard or he's hard at work. Either way, his boys are not feeling their best right now, and you can help him out. Maybe he's walking around all day. Maybe he's at an office job where he's got to sit on his ass and it just gets hot under that chair, and you know that he's just not feeling his best, and you can help out this Father's Day. Show that daddy that you love him so much. That sounded weird the way I said that. I need to fix that next time. But show that man that you love him by going to www.myhappynuts.com, using promo code MikeTipton at checkout, getting the comfort cream, slathering them all over your own hands and rubbing it on him to show him how much you care about his nuts and their happiness. www.myhappynuts.com. Use promo code MikeTipton at checkout and save on all of your male grooming needs. I finally broke. It took that one for me to break. There we go. Ray saying, sir, have a great day. Time to enlighten minds here. I hope that he's having himself a good old time. Thank you for what you do, Ray, over at Burgess High School, showing the youth what to do. You probably show them this show to be like, if you want to have a successful media career, do the exact opposite of what this guy does. Augustine saying, Beastrilla's spirit is in the show. Talking about those big, beefy men just slapping meat against one another. Tommy saying, whoa. Guys, I'm just trying to get your nuts rubbed. Probably shouldn't have said that. Probably should have come up with a better way of saying that. Look, guys, look. I can't even get it out right. Hold on. Let's focus. Let's lock in. Here we go. Glasses off so I can't see myself and break. All right. Here we go. Look, guys, I'm just trying to make you realize that www.myhappynuts.com isn't just for the fellas, it's for the ladies too. And we can make it a full-on family affair, slathering up that comfort cream on your lady's hands and having her take care of the crown jewels for you this Father's Day. I'm looking out for you, the men out there. That might be one of the dumbest fucking things I have ever said in my life. And it's a long list of some dumbass shit that I've said before. Augustine saying, oh no. Oh man. Tomorrow's will be better. I promise. My happy nuts, tomorrow's will be better. I don't know what I was thinking at this point. We'll clean it up. It'll be tighter. It'll be better next time. That much I can promise you. Give me a good 30 seconds. I can wow you. Okay. Back to sports. The referees sucked in yesterday's game. However, I feel like that outcome was going to happen either way. I not having De'Aaron Fox really hurts the San Antonio Spurs right now. Not having J. Will, because there's two Jalen Williams on the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's not difficult to deal with at all. Not having J. Will on there is a little difficult for them, but he did miss the entire Lakers series. But without De'Aaron Fox comes, okay, we had Dylan Harper step up. Dylan Harper in game 1 became one of only 2 players in the history of NBA to have a 20-point game, a 10-rebound game, a 5-assist game, and a 5-steal game in the Western Conference Finals. One of 2 players, NBA history, that have ever done it. It's Dylan Harper and Magic Johnson. Dylan Harper's emergence as a potential star for the San Antonio Spurs is awesome. However, whenever you have him go down and you don't have De'Aaron Fox and you don't have a traditional point guard because Stephon Castle ain't that guy. Castle has had, 21 turnovers in 2 games? He is not a point guard. Get the ball out of that man's hands, please, for the love of God. This is where you see the moment becoming too big for such a young team. Their starters' average age is 22 years and 1 month old. Wrap your mind around that. That's including De'Aaron Fox, who's almost 30. That shows you how young this team is for the San Antonio Spurs. I think the series is going to go 7. There was a part of me that thought Oklahoma could win it in 6. I think the series is going to go 7. I still think Oklahoma City is going to win the series as a whole. But what we are watching right now is the maturation process of the San Antonio Spurs. You got to go through your lumps. If they find a way, and again, big caveat, capital if the Spurs find a way to win this series, I think they will win the NBA final. Because I don't think New York matches up well with them. I do like Mitchell Robinson. And I don't think that Cleveland matches up at all well with San Antonio. I feel like whoever wins the Western Conference Finals wins the NBA championship. We are watching right now the real NBA championship. It's kind of like whenever you have the 2 best teams meet in the AFC or NFC championship game and you kind of know what the outcome of the Super Bowl is going to be. That's how it feels with the Western Conference Finals right now. I think it's going to go 7. I would love nothing more than to see the San Antonio Spurs pull this out, get themselves that win, find a way to win an NBA championship. I just don't think it's going to be this year. I really don't. They're so young, and you're starting to see those mental mistakes happen. It got late in that game. They were down by 5, and their next 4 shots were 3-pointers. And not even good 3-pointers, really bad contested 3-pointers or really deep 3-point shots. I understand that that's the evolution of basketball right now, but when you have a 7'5" slender man in the damn paint, give him the ball. And then it's also on Victor Wembanyama to realize that he's 7'5", taller than that, and the most dominant player on the court. Get in the paint and just eat their soul alive like you were Shang Tsung. I'm just, the maturation isn't there. And we got to witness that last night with the San Antonio Spurs. It hurt. It hurt. Tommy, I know you're going to be happy. You are going to revel in my pain. I'm going to be there in a corner just crying a little bit. And you're going to be pointing and laughing at me. But I do want you to remember that whenever the Mavericks traded Luka, I was a safe space for you. I felt your pain. I laughed a little bit at Nico because who wasn't? But I felt your pain. I didn't laugh at you. So please, Tom, I'm begging you, have mercy on me. He's not. He most definitely is not. It'll be relenting, unrelenting, the hatred that Tommy has for the San Antonio Spurs. News coming out of the NFL. Great transition there. I'm a pro. Aaron Rodgers has announced that he is going to retire after this season. Oh, no. Not Aaron. Whatever will we do without Aaron Rodgers? Is it news whenever a geriatric man says, I'm getting too old for this shit? Like, should it be something that runs the news cycle? If one day I decided I'm too old to deal with these kids that I work with, would that be news to anybody? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. But it is what it is. C'est la vie. Aaron Rodgers says he's going to retire after this season. This is his This Is It tour. Wow, the words that were about to come out of my mouth, I can't believe that came into my head. I am a horrible human being, and I need to go get therapy for what was just about to be said, and I am not going to say it, unless y'all ask me to. Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Aaron Rodgers said Wednesday that the 2026 season will be the last of his Hall of Fame-worthy career. Yes, this is it, end quote, said Aaron Rodgers when asked if this would be his final season. The four-time NFL MVP signed a one-year contract worth up to $25 million with the Pittsburgh Steelers this week, reuniting him with head coach Mike McCarthy, who was his coach for 13 seasons with the Green Bay Packers. That's exactly what I'm saying. Why wait, Aaron? Retire now. Fucking move on. Move on. Get on out of here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to say what came to my mind whenever I read that quote. This is it. You know who else had a This Is It tour? Michael Jackson. And he died before that thing got going. So, Aaron, follow in the steps of Michael Jackson with his This Is It tour and just fucking go. Unless you want to do ayahuasca with me later, in which case I'm cool with it. That was harsh. My apologies. Well, you can tell I do not like Aaron at all. Currently, he has 66,274 passing yards. That gets him fifth all-time. 527 touchdown passes, fourth all-time. 163 wins, which is not a quarterback stat, but that's the sixth all-time. 257 starts, which is the fifth all-time. 5,696 completions, which is seventh all-time. And the sixth most attempts all-time of 8,743. How many does he need to go all the way up? Tommy laughing at what I said. I'm glad somebody laughed. I was worried that it might be a little too harsh. I'm not telling him to, off himself. I'm just saying, move the hell on. Nobody likes you. You're too old. Let go. It's over. Nobody listens to techno. Tommy's saying that really was LMAO. I watched the Michael Jackson movie this weekend. And man, that thing was tough to watch at times. Joe Jackson was a huge piece of shit. I'll just go on record. Like, I know it's not new, but after watching that, it just kind of solidifies. Again, this movie was made by Michael Jackson's family, his brothers, his sister, LaToya. Janet didn't want anything to do with it. But it was made by the Jackson family, the oldest members of the Jackson family, the ones that are still alive. So they had full creative control of how they wanted to portray their father. And they portrayed their father as the most diabolical human being that has ever existed. It was like Joe Jackson, Hitler. Like, that's the way that they went, man. The commissioner saying, Mike, I am good with it. Fuck the Green Bay Packers. Tommy Kanata saying, off your football career. 1,000%. And you know what? As a human being, no, that's too much. I'm sorry. I went for the joke there, but that was too much. Say goodbye, Aaron. Just go. This is it. Don't even make it to the first concert, which would be the first game. Just go. Be gone. Don't nobody want you around here. He is 12 touchdown passes behind Peyton Manning. He is roughly 44 touchdown passes behind Drew Brees, so he's not going to get there. And he is 122 touchdown passes behind Tom Brady, which is, again, just wild. Just absolutely wild to think of. Russell Wilson, surprisingly, 12th all-time in touchdown passes. That is sneaky. I was not expecting that. More touchdown passes than Fran Tarkenton, who had the record for so long until Dan Marino came along. Like, I'm looking at these names, Brett Favre, Dan Marino, Peyton Manning, like, watching all of them break those records has been wild to me. It just makes me realize how old I am. Rodgers is known for telling lies, so he might be BSing us here, says the crooked commish. I agree 1,000,000%. He is a well-known liar. Some people would say he's the best liar, but he's a very well-known fabricator of the truth. I don't want to say liar. You know, I'm trying to think of like some stuff, right? Like we as people have found all kinds of stuff. Like you can find arrest records of people. You can find all of these things, photographic evidence of a million things. Isn't it wild? Just absolutely wild that we have yet to see one picture of Aaron Rodgers' wife or a picture of them together. We were able to find out that Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel were sleeping together for X amount of years before we got a picture of Aaron Rodgers' wife. I'm just going to say, right, I don't think she exists. I think Aaron Rodgers is giving us the Manti Te'o treatment right now. The commission that he heard a crazy stat about Aaron Rodgers. He can throw 50 interceptions and his completion rating will still be higher than Tom Brady's. Wow. I got to look that one up. Coming over here, Pro Football Reference is my good friend. Always helps me through. Oh, wow. You sure about that, commish? I guess, yeah, if we're talking about Tom Brady's completion percentage, yes. I don't know why. I thought that Aaron Rodgers would have the highest completion percentage of all time. This list is wild to me. And I am going, you all know, whenever I come up with something, I got to share it with y'all. It's going to be hard to see, but you can see right here. Number one on the list is Joe Burrow at 68.5% completion percentage. Amazing completion percentage. Tua being number two is, again, insane to me. But Tua Tagovailoa is number two at 68%. Hall of Famer Drew Brees at 67.7%. Then we get into questionable territory. Jimmy Garoppolo, 67.4%. Kyler Murray, 67.1%. Dak Prescott, 66.9%. Dak Prescott, a top 10 all-time completion percentage guy. followed by Kirk Cousins, Mac Jones, Justin Herbert, Teddy Bridgewater, Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes, Chad Pennington. Chad Pennington being number 13 all time in the completion percentage list is wild to me. Richie saying, I'm a simple guy. I get to work early. I sit down. I see the tip. I see you talking about Steelers legend Aaron Rodgers, and I comment, Richie, you know I got nothing but love for you, my guy. Aaron Rodgers should be inducted into the Pittsburgh Steelers Hall of Fame. I am a firm believer in that. Out of the long pantheon of great Steelers quarterbacks, one stands head and shoulders above the rest, and that is Aaron. Double A, just like Arn Anderson, just like the Batteries. Aaron. Pittsburgh Steelers legend. Tommy Canata saying, wait, Dak Prescott is not tied for first? LOL. Richie saying that the Steelers need to retire number 8. The Steelers need to retire the name Aaron and Rodgers. Like, they cannot draft anybody whose first name is Aaron or whose last name is Rodgers. They just can't. Richie, how well do you think your Steelers are going to do this year now that this is it tour for Aaron? This is it tour for him. It's done. Him and Mike McCarthy, my guy, one of my favorite coaches of all time. Tommy saying Dak Prescott not being tied for number 1 because Tommy also believes that Dak Prescott just as good as Joe Burrow. They are the same guy. Less than 2 completion points separate them from each other. But Dak Prescott, number 6 all time. Number 6 all time in completion percentage. I want to see, whenever Joe Burrow gets to year 10, Tommy, if he's still number 1, or if he drops down to number 6. I am going to be watching the completion percentage, a stat that means jack shit to anybody. I am going to be watching this like a hawk. Because if Joe Burrow drops down to number 6 all time and is just right there with Dak Prescott, I am going to be the happiest man that I could ever be. Now I'm going to go as a nerd. And I hope Joe Burrow retires with numbers exactly like Dak Prescott. Richie saying we have all the makings of an amazing team. We have the receivers now, a stacked offensive line, a very balanced defense with the holes in the secondary field. The gunslinger has every piece. We are going 10-7 and getting diddled in the wild card again. No. First off, I don't think you're going 10-7. I think you're going 12-5. Mike McCarthy is the master of going 12-5 and getting bounced in the first round. Do the stat ranking comparisons between Joe Burrow and Dak Prescott so we can put this debate down for once and for all. I wonder if this is a thing that I can actually find out. Okay, so here we go. We got a couple of stats, Tommy. Games played. Obviously, Dak has had a longer career, so he's got him by almost double. 139-77 for Dak. Completion percentage goes to Joe Burrow, as we mentioned. That is 68.5% to 66.9%. Dak has almost 16,000 more passing yards than Joe Burrow at 35,989 to Burrow's 20,810. Dak has almost 100 more, or I guess we can call it the number it is, 86 more touchdown passes than Joe Burrow, 243 to 157. Obviously, because Dak has played longer, he has more interceptions, 92 to 51. Yards per attempt, Dak leading here at 90 or at 7.6 yards per attempt versus Joe Burrow, 7.4 yards per attempt. Quarterback rating, 98.3 for Dak Prescott, 98.6 for Joe Burrow. Dak has 29 rushing touchdowns. Burrow has 10. Career playoff statistics. They have both played 7 games. Joe Burrow has completed 67.3% of his passes to Dak Prescott's 63.4% of his passes. Dak has 1,720 passing yards to Joe Burrow's 1,859 passing yards. Dak has 11 passing touchdowns to Joe Burrow's 9 passing touchdowns. Dak has 5 interceptions to Joe Burrow's 4 interceptions. The quarterback rating for Dak Prescott is 92.3, while the quarterback rating for Joe Burrow is 93.8. They are, without a shadow of a doubt, not that far separated from each other. Whether it's regular season, if you want to look at individual season stats, I've got to find a way. I don't have enough time to do it right now, Tommy. I've got to find a way where I can put them up right there. That might be, Richie, you are 1,000% correct right there. Joe Burrow has aura and Dak does not. But Dak has the biggest Dak we've ever seen, and Joe Burrow does not. Tommy's saying we need it through the first 6 years if we're going to be fair. Okay. We will do that. We will 100% do that. I think there's going to be, well, they both had injuries, so never mind. I was going to say there's going to be a couple of injury years there for Joe Burrow that might diminish his stats, but whatever. I will find a way, Tommy. I am going to put it on my calendar, and I will find a way to get it done for tomorrow's show. I think tomorrow's show, TIP's VIP Friday, is just us comparing Dak Prescott and Joe Burrow stats, and you can see that they are the Spider-Man meme. So I'm saying no because Dak has like 5 years on him. Oh, I know. I know Dak has 5 years on him. And at least 6 more inches of Dak. Richie's saying, get me to meet Shooter McGavin. I wonder if there's a way. I'm pretty sure I can do it. The commissioner saying, I will be on the show on Monday. Yes, we're going to have a show on Monday. I know it's Memorial Day, but I figure what better way to honor those that have fallen than by giving them just the tip? I should have come up with a better way of saying that. Oh, look at me getting all kinds of meetings today. Great. When did I mess around to become important at my job? Richie saying, I bother Angela too much. LMAO. Nah, no such thing. You know what? You need to step your game up. You need to bother her more. Just all the time. Just consistently. Until she blocks you, it's never too much. That's the way that I look at it. Tommy's saying, bet. We're going to bet on this. All right, Tommy. I'm good. I got you. All right, everybody. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. Look for a potential new sponsor who's going to have a video come out a little bit later on my social media. I think you guys are going to love it. I know I will. And I hope you guys will love it as well. Everyone, thank you so much for being a part of today's show. I love and appreciate all of you so much. We will talk to you later. Have yourself a wonderful Thursday. Come out to the ballpark. It's Matachina's night. I should have worn my Matachinas hat now and thinking about it. But I'll see you out of the ballpark. Have a good day, y'all.